Give your ears now to a story of a man who saw too much, with his fingers on the keyboard and some truths no one would touch, peering through dusty webs of secrets the powerful would hide, pulling back the curtains slowly to expose their shame and pride. He said the emperor's naked, and he showed it on the screen, and the world gasped for a moment at the unexpected scene. But the kings would rather people bow and never raise their heads. They cursed him and they blackwashed him, he was spying for the Reds. Putin ain't no communist, but old accusations stick. Most either drink the Kool-Aid or lose to the shell game trick. Three-letter institutions play with people's lives like gods. Against those whose lives they would destroy, they first stack fearful odds. No direct accusations tracing back to their own crimes, but sowing seeds of sexual smears, shed fraud or cocaine lines. The court of public opinion with its jurors ready prepped, fed whispered allegations to make sure that justice slept. If politicians and police conspire, that's a real fear. You better seek asylum in an embassy that's near. So from a small room beneath the Ecuadorian flag, he resisted their violence, their shackles and their gag. For 7 years he dwelt there in self-imposed house arrest. While his enemies contained him, extradition was addressed. A man can't slip away when all exits are being checked. When the story sinks from news feeds, fewer people will suspect. Maneuvers, diplomatic wrangling, threats and chicanery, while lawyers work tirelessly to prepare more misery. They called him a traitor, a spy, a danger to the state, for exposing double-dealing, hypocrisy and hate. The hounds bayed at the windows, circling agents gave no rest. The clock kept ticking slower, like the heart within his chest. 7 years of isolation toll on a man confined. His health, his social needs, and things are preying on his mind. Who could live in such a world and their nerves not start to crack? You can't reach out to anyone, half the world is on your back. Then one stark morning, cold and gray, they came to claim their prize, and pulled him from his refuge beneath indifferent skies. Ready cameras flashed like lightning on a figure worn and frail. Suits and grinning bull-neck cops, exultant, carried him to jail. Dragged him off to Belmarsh prison, his reception neatly planned, and forced to wear a yellow tag, their color-coded brand. They maintained his isolation and took the greatest care to leave the cell unheated and the light a constant glare. Depressing food at random hours, no word from any warder, no visitors, no outside word, no help from any quarter. They took his belt, they took his tie, his situation graver. The cameras off, the guards not near, he could do himself a favor. He heard the echo of despair, not knowing how well fought. His lawyers, teams of activists found every action fraught. But time changes politicians, not the politician's mind. And as people swap their desks and chairs, new stars can be aligned. The world outside kept spinning with its headlines and its strife. Some wished him gone, some wished him free, some just forgot his life. But his name became a symbol, a fire they could not quench, despite all their maneuverings and which judge sat on the bench. Though his health began to falter and his body wore so thin, The man who sought to open doors now locked himself within. A quiet determination not to give in nor succumb, to hold on to the faintest chance that we shall overcome. Those who held the keys to freedom or a pardon in their land still negotiated fiercely with justice slipping from their hand. Then at last there came a quickening, a murmur in the breeze from weary hearts and worn-out fights and long-planted fragile seeds. Gentle gusts of change were blowing to disturb that game of chess across those who'd spun the web of law and caused so deep distress. A quiet deal was whispered in that shadowed silent deep, where nothing's ever written down and all talk of trust is cheap. And when at last a deal was struck, the stakes were scaled back. A guilty plea in Saipan filled in for evidential lack. Time, sir, fell in his favor when the sentencing was passed. He walked out a free Australian with his family at last. He stepped into bright daylight, yet the warning still was clear. A state that fears disclosure is a state that trades in fear. They sought to hold up, for example, a man who told the truth, to show the world the consequence when you dare expose the proof. The years they took can't be restored, the damage can't be healed, and every journalist now knows the laws that they will wield. For had they won this battle, then the First Amendment falls, and none who speak of power would be safe to speak at all. So the question stands before us, stark as any tyranny: what price to pay for telling truth in lands that claim they're free? He stepped into bright daylight, yet the warning still was clear. A state that fears disclosure is a state that trades in fear.